Good morning, everyone. If someone asked me, what's the most noisiest place you've ever been to? I wouldn't say a fair, a concert, or a classroom. But I would say my own bedroom. Sounds silly, right? But that's the reality. It's not because of the noise from outside, like people shouting or the traffic, but because of something much more strange. One night, I was just sitting there, literally doing nothing. My phone on the table, lights dim, and everything was calm. Zero drama. But suddenly, out of nowhere, my mind just started sprinting. From 0 to 200, it raced like a racing bike. First, a random memory from 3 years ago. Then, a tiny mistake I did in class. Then, a fear about something that didn't even happen yet. And in less than a minute, my brain just created a whole mess of thoughts that had no connection, no logic, and definitely no permission. And how many of you have experienced this? Where you just sit on the chair, look up at the ceiling, but end up creating a whole disaster movie in your mind. Probably all of us, right? But here's the funny part. On the outside, I just looked calm, breathing, blinking, and existing. But on the inside, it was like my brain had just opened thousands of tabs and forgot where the audio is playing from. When I shared about this with a friend, she said, Bro, what's so unusual? I do that even when I'm brushing my teeth. And that's when I realized it's not just my experience, it's something that everyone quietly goes through. How many of us lie awake at night replaying one tiny moment? How many of us pretend to be smiling on the outside while our mind is running a marathon inside? And yes, it is overthinking, an earthquake inside a still mind. Everybody experiences this. The toppers, the extroverts, the people who look chill 24 by 7, everyone. We all have these moments where our mind just goes on an overdrive, thinking too much, thinking too far, and thinking too fast. Some, Sometimes it's about exams, sometimes about friendship, and sometimes nothing specific at all. Just a random storm of thoughts that we didn't ask for. And that's why I call this overthinking as the loudest room in the whole world. Studies suggest that almost 70% of the young teenagers and adults experience overthinking regularly, especially at night. Tell me, how many of you have experienced this overthinking, just allowing you not to sleep? Probably many of us would have experienced this. Studies also suggest that almost 90% of the adults even admit to replay past conversations or worry about future situations every day. So, if you ever feel this way, you are not alone. There are millions of people in this world same like you. And do you know that even people shaping the world right now experience overthinking? Unbelievable, right? But that's the reality. Let's take Elon Musk, for example, one of the most influential innovators of all time. He constantly thinks ahead, imagines worst case scenarios, and doubts himself. What could go wrong? This very overthinking didn't stop him, it helped him. Before a rocket ever launches, Musk mentally runs through hundreds of possible failures. Before a new idea even becomes real, he overanalyzes it from every possible angle. What looks like overthinking to us from the outside became practice for him. His mind is always racing with ideas and future possibilities. But he didn't let those ideas and those thoughts overwhelm him. He learned to channel them into innovation. He used it as his weapon. See, overthinking didn't weaken him like we all think. It helped him. It guided him. It strengthened him and it became his weapon, as I told earlier. So here's the interesting part. It's not that our brain is trying to hurt us. Maybe it's trying to protect us, guiding the right path to us. Maybe it just overdoes the job by preparing us for every possible outcome. See, the more I understood this, I realized something even more important. We don't need to fight our thoughts, but we just need to give them a direction, give them a limit, and that's all. See, that's the real power, not having a silent mind, but having a manageable one. So these days, when my brain just starts acting like a Bollywood villain, I do simple things, just simple things that will do wonders. Sometimes I talk with myself. Sounds silly, right? But that really works out. Like, bro, relax. This is not a thriller movie. And sometimes I meditate. Meditation doesn't mean just sitting still for many hours, but just a few minutes. A few minutes of concentration on your breath would do wonders and magic. You'll just see all your thoughts go by like clouds in the sky, and that will feel great. Once you finish meditating, you'll feel fresh and calm once again. And sometimes I talk with people whom I trust the most. Because the moment you unload your thoughts, the giant becomes tiny. All your thoughts vanish in seconds. See, overthinking doesn't just disappear in one day like Jim Boomba, but you start understanding yourself better. You start calming your storms and you start lowering the volume. Because that's the real power, as I told earlier. Not having a silent mind, but having a manageable one. So the next time overthinking shakes you from the inside, remember this noise is here, not here to trouble you, but it's just here to help you. So the next time overthinking doesn't let you sleep, remember, the more you understand this, the loudest room in the whole world, overthinking, suddenly becomes quiet forever. Thank you.